I didn't really grow up in a community. It's there was a Jewish community. There was a Jewish area which gradually moved north in Toronto. When I arrived, it was in 1948. It was centered around in downtown, around College and between College and Dundas on the one hand, and between McCall and I guess a little bit further west. I don't know exactly. Dovercourt, Lansdowne on the west in Toronto. So that was very downtown. Uh, it,
Where were
Over
you?
the next several years, that whole community moved north, and they kept on moving north. There was already a presence in the north of fairly wealthy Jews, well-to-do, and that was another surprise to me when I met some of these people because they didn't speak Yiddish. And when I was little, everybody who I knew who was Jewish also spoke Yiddish. And we use the word Yiddish in Yiddish, when you speak Yiddish, that means Jewish. So I couldn't understand it that there were people who were Jewish, but they didn't speak their language. It was astonishing to me, right? That was the world I grew up in, my mentality. That's the world I grew up in, but there was no community. We were outside the area. We were living in an area where there were very few Jews, relatively speaking, unless they were just passing through. So, and anyone who was Jewish in the area that I lived in didn't talk about it. So you didn't actually know. I was born into that world. That was the given world. I didn't know anything else. So to me, that was the way the world was. So I grew up in a situation where I saw myself as a Yiddish speaker, and everybody else was English. And of course, that included the Chinese guys, the Japanese guys, the Italian guys, the Polish, the Finns, the Germans who lived around. They were the English because they didn't speak Yiddish. So I was Yiddish. And I assumed everybody who was Jewish spoke Yiddish.